Hey everybody, back with another video. Just gonna show off what I've been kind of doing recently. Over in the side yard, there's my parts shed. I just got a W126 junkyard over here. So basically got a 91 300 SEL and this is an 89 300 SE. And then this is my favorite here. This is a 1987 300 SDL. So this has basically got the same engine in it as my 300D. It's got the OM603 engine. And yeah, this white guy over here is basically got a blown engine. This one here in the middle has got this accident. You can see it got T-boned. Engine works and runs. You can turn the car on. And then this one runs and drives. So this is the one I've been fixing up. And so it's still a little bit rough. Just taking a look here. It's got 341,000 miles. Yeah, dashboard is looking very horrible. I got the seats looking pretty respectable. So those ones, I actually bought the white car to swap out the seats. And so I still have to switch the door card out. So there's one of the new door cards right there. And then here's the rear seats. I switched these out from the white car. Gotta switch the door cards out. And so that's that white car, the parts car, I even took the trunk liner out. So this is super nice and even soft. The all the seats and everything for the original car, that were original to this car, were horrible shape. Yeah, this is basically how that car looked when I got it. So the white car had a great interior. And so you could see this is what the seats looked like. And yeah, that 300 SDL, it was definitely rough shape when I got it. The steering wheel, the steering column was dropped and somebody basically drilled out the ignition. I kind of got this one cleaned up with some 303 and then I just kind of covered it up. I'm just going to keep soaking 303 all over it, the aerospace protectant. And this dash is going to go in that other car. I'm going to grab all these low panels here too. And then I'm going to grab this ignition and I'll just replace the cylinder in the middle. This is definitely questionable, but I'll be getting some good parts out of here. I might even take that climate control. I'm not sure. The buttons are a little bit messed up, but you can pop those out. Yeah, and you can see here's some of the new door cards that I'll be switching over. Part of the reason I haven't done that yet is just because I need to do the window regulators. The back seats that were in that other car were not terrible, but this is pretty rough. This is not soft anymore. So it'll be pretty nice. And okay, yeah, it's always interesting seeing what people do. Yeah, this one I'm guessing does not have a functioning window regulator or motor. For the 300 SDL, you can see this is where the person had to, and they did this pretty nasty. They used like a Sawzall to cut the steering lock and drilled out the ignition to get the key had broken off in here. And so, yeah, right now what it's left with, and this is just super ghetto, is right here. You know, it's like they sawed it. They sawed right here, and that's an aftermarket ignition from whatever, from AutoZone or something like that. And so it works, but Yeah, all of this was ripped off and everything's just kind of exposed down there. So I'm gonna get this completely sorted out. I'll have to do the middle wood too, and if this car, if it works really good, I'll put a console roll box in here. Yeah, I've already grabbed some parts here from the silver car right there. So I got the center buttons so that those are nice and neat again. When I got the car, the hood ornament was busted and the grill just looked really bad, so I actually had a spare grill just from junkyarding. So I went ahead and put that on here. And then there's the engine. So almost identical to the one that's in my 300D. And yeah, it runs pretty good. It definitely needs motor mounts. Those are blown, pretty hard to see, but they're in terrible shape. Whole car is shaking, so I'll have to get that sorted. But you can see here, I've actually gone through and replaced all the vacuum lines. So some of these were just so brittle that if you touch it, it was cracking, breaking. I replaced the vacuum line fittings, these rubber pieces, for everything. So everything I could see. There's some back here that I didn't do yet. I will get to those too. I just need to think of a way to, mark it, like put a paint marker on here or tape so I can tell what color it was supposed to be. There's some over here too. Go to like a vacuum filter. Yeah, so I'll have to get those cleaned up too. So right now the 300 SDL, this is basically the one I'm keeping, and I'm kind of making it whole using the parts from the other two cars. This car's failing emissions, and so they have just a simple test that they do. It's called an opacity test. And so the first time I did it, they failed the car just the way visually it looked because it had some small exhaust leaks. I went and got those fixed, and then they tested it again, and it came back at 80%. And so the limit's 20. And so I've just been kind of going through this car. I did the vacuum lines, made sure all the things that are supposed to be working are working. I did diesel purges. So I have just like a little container that I make a fuel tank out of. And it's really easy to bypass the lines so that you bypass the fuel tank and you just run it out of this small container. And I let that sit in the fuel lines for a good amount of time. I also ran some turbo cleaner through the intake. And so I got it going from it started off at 80% and now it's down to 40%. So definitely getting there. This thing, it responds really well to driving. So I took it out for a drive last night, got 150 miles on it. Every time we take it out for a longer ride, it does well. So it helps clear things up. The soot and everything coming out of the exhaust gets better every single time. So definitely less smoke coming out. So basically it was having black smoke. And the paint, it's not my favorite color, that's for sure. And I used to not be so, into the Palomino interior, but I'm starting to like it. That's what I have in my black car too, the 300D. And yeah, so I don't plan to repaint this, but I might try to see what I could do to bring it back. It definitely looks like there's some discoloration on some of these panels. And some of them have like a peeling clear coat. And I'm wondering if this is original or if that was a panel that got repainted. And because I thought that the original paint was single stage, but could totally be wrong. Yeah, this is going to be a fun one to figure out too. So basically, once I pass the emissions, then I can finally get the registration. And then when I get the registration, I can get the new ignition. All of these parts like that are they're TRP or theft relevant parts. I don't know if I'll be able to get another replacement for this, but I could probably just get one off the other cars, take this whole assembly apart. Yeah, there's still tint that I'm in here in the middle of taking off too. It was definitely bad looking and made it just almost not visible. Surprisingly, this third brake clamp was actually pretty good shape. Yeah, you can kind of see where the tailpipe was. It's just a lot of muck that was coming out of there. So this is starting to come back. It's been my project for the last month or so. And then with these other two cars, I'm pretty much just going to be parting them out. So get some stuff and get it to people who can use it. And I'll definitely use as much as I can on the yellow car too. So that's what I've been up to. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.